In this video, you will learn why are projects so difficult? What are the top 9 challenges in project management? So, why are projects so difficult? You'll probably have some acknowledgement for the hardship of successfully completing a project based on what we've discussed so far, your own experience as well as your trade publications readings. While we discuss many typical challenges in greater depth throughout this video on this channel, let's go over the main reasons why projects are difficult to manage. Uncharted territory. Every project is one of a kind. The work to be completed has never been done by this set of people in this environment before. Multiple expectations. Every project has multiple stakeholders, each with their own set of needs and expectations. Obstacles to communication. Due to natural organizational boundaries, communication pathways and team development phases, project information communication must be actively managed to guarantee proper flow. Balancing competing demands. Each project is identified to produce one of the several deliverables, scope, inside a specific time, with an approved budget, cost, and with a specified pool of resources. Furthermore, deliverables must meet a certain level of performance, quality, and be approved by the major stake expectations. Each of these elements have an impact on the others. For example, if extra functionality, scope, quality is requested, the project's time and/or costs, so resources required, will increase. An experienced manager prioritizes this. Individuals and organizations that are actively engaged in a project or whose aspirations may be affected by the project's execution or completion are referred to as stakeholders. Innovative. Many projects include a strategic innovative focus, therefore they will frequently deal with cutting-edge technologies. In these instances, the project has far more risks and unknowns, making accurate estimation much more difficult. Organizational implications. In addition to tackling natural communication barriers imposed by the project structure, the project manager should also manage overlaps in organizational approval and authority domains, manage competing priorities for common resources, manage annual budget cycles that may be oriented with the project's funding requirements, and make sure that the project is aligned with the organization's focus. Collaboration. Based on the scope and strategic level of your project team may be up of stakeholders from various functional areas across the organization who are unlikely to be used to working together. To make the best decisions for the project, these various stakeholders should learn to work together and understand each other's perspectives. The project manager frequently serves as a key facilitator in this collaborative process. Estimating the work. Assessing project work is tough, but the project's time and cost dimensions are based on these estimates of work effort. Given that the project's work is frequently unique, never done before, never done with these tools, and/or never done by these persons, and most organizations do not keep reliable historical records of past projects that could have comparable work components, it is difficult to estimate the exact effort for individual work items, let alone the entire project. You must anticipate the number and severity of issues and hurdles that are prone to occur throughout the project. The contending project demands are very often alluded to as the project management's triple constraint. The triangle always has two sides, time and cost, or resources. The third side would either be scope, performance, or quality, depending on where you look. In any case, it is the project's output. For many recent versions of this model also include client expectations. According to data published in the Project Management Institute's PMI 2020 Pulse of the Profession report, 11.4% of investment spending is lost due to bad project performance. What factors contribute to poor project performance? Lack of detailed planning, inconsistent processes and methodologies, incorrectly managing and accounting for every project stakeholder, overrun budgets and other factors as examples. However, if we go a step further, the causes for project failure fit into three major categories: people, processes, communication. Let's look at the most common project management challenges and how to overcome them. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. On my website, projectmanageriq.com, you can find free slide deck templates for your project management needs, as well as training based on my 544-page book, Project Management for Managers, Program and Project Portfolio Management in Banking. Please see the details below in the description. Top 9 project management challenges. 1. Communicate the problem. How many times have you, as a project manager, had to deal with problems that arose because of misunderstandings, misinterpretations, or miscommunications? One of the greatest project risks is ineffective or poor communication. All stakeholders will be completely in the dark if project managers are unable to assign tasks effectively, provide or interpret instructions, communicate important project milestones and objectives, or define roles, responsibilities, and who is doing what. A communication plan can help you control communication issues. This communication plan basically provides a governance system for project teams and specifies which communication methods, like phone calls, emails, meetings, memos, and so on, will be utilized to communicate particular areas or milestones throughout the project lifecycle. For example, when the project manager wants to send a change management notification to the entire project team caused by a change in scope, they can consult the communication plan to determine the best way to communicate that method of communication. Furthermore, project managers can use project management software to keep project stakeholders and team members up to date on project updates, promote transparency, and provide a centralized location for all discussions, correspondence, and feedback associated with project tasks and milestones. 2. Unclear project goals and misalignment with business objectives. The problem. Another prevalent project management issue is lack of definitive project goals and misalignment of goals and primary objectives. This project frequently arises as a result of poor planning. This isn't always the fault of the project manager. In many cases, businesses do not devote enough time and effort to not only appropriately plan projects, but also to ensure that those projects are matched with the business strategy or blueprint. The solution. The role of the project manager varies depending on the magnitude and type of organization. Project managers are involved in the pre-work, planning phase of the project in certain medium-sized businesses and enterprises. In many instances, project managers create a business case, which studies and conveys the business value and fiscal benefits of carrying out a specific project. It is also linked to the overall roadmap and strategy of the company. Corporate leaders and executives frequently review the business case document to evaluate whether or not to proceed with the project. Business case establishes the framework for the project, ensuring that leadership and project team members are all on the same page regarding the project's purpose, the projected value it can provide, key objectives, and clear project goals. 3. Insufficient accountability. The problem. Among the first principles of execution is accountability. Every individual in a project management team plays an important role in the project's success. As a result, it is critical that the project manager guarantees that each project team member is held accountable. Believe it or not, the absence of accountability can have repercussions throughout the workflow. The solution. When the project starts, project managers should communicate with all project stakeholders and team members about the roles and responsibilities, as well as how one is presumed to communicate progress. It is also critical to communicate how one task depends on the execution of another. Remember, a project team is made up of various people, each with their own set of skills, specialities, job habits, and personalities. When working on a project, each member must do their part and communicate properly. 4. Impractical deadlines and flaws in planning. The problem. Setting unrealistic deadlines is one of the most common errors that project managers make. This may be due to a number of factors, including incorrect estimation techniques, inadequate estimation, bias toward optimism, leadership pressure to move the project along. The solution: it's critical for project managers to receive feedback from stakeholders and team members on how long will it take to finish a specific task or review and approve a specific deliverable. This can take a long time, but your efforts will be rewarded when there is a feasible timeline that the entire team can follow. Many optimistic project managers are prone to optimism bias while estimating or calculating the length of project tasks, resulting in planning flaws. This is closely related to risk planning and management. However, any risk that could slow down a project timeline must be considered. The best way to accomplish this is to incorporate padding into a timetable to account for delays as well as environmental risks. Utilizing a project management tool that not only enables project managers to carefully monitor and govern the project schedule and timeline, but also provides the project team members, executives and stakeholders with visibility into the timeline, will keep everyone involved on the same page and helps avoid surprises. Allocation of resources. In the realm of project management, proper resource allocation remains a major challenge. Numerous project managers are compelled to manage with the available resources because many organizations struggle to budget or acquire sufficient resources. Unfortunately, this means delegating tasks to members of the project team, agencies, contractors or vendors who may not have the skills necessary to perform a specific task or guarantee quality output. Each task should be related to the role or skill set of a professional. That concludes the story. Before the project is completed, project managers should make a comprehensive list of all deliverables and the skills required to complete them, and assess all available resources to ascertain if there are any skill gaps. If a project leader determines that there is a skill gap that poses a risk to successfully completing the project outcome, he or she can conduct a make or buy evaluation to determine whether the organization should employ or internal resource or an external agency or firm. Insufficient project budget. The problem. Businesses today are frequently challenged to do more using less. The challenge is passed on to project managers. Budget and resource limitations are enormous. Many executives, as well as stakeholders, expect project managers to do the unachievable, execute a perfectly planned project in a short period of time with limited resources and budget. The solution: budget constraints require the project manager to make decisions about specific trade-offs, like limiting the use of specific resources and instituting a strict budget management structure to avoid delays and, as a result, higher costs. 7. Scope creep. The problem. Scope creep is every project manager's worst nightmare. Working with stakeholders who don't know what they want and don't have a specific goal in mind can be frustrating. This can introduce significant risks affecting all elements of the project. The solution. It's difficult and frustrating to change certain aspects of a project once it's started to meet the stakeholders' new demands, instructions, or requirements that weren't part of the planning stage. Project managers could do the following to reduce scope creep: collect information, glean requirements, draft specifications, precisely identify goals, etc. with stakeholders, implement a change management procedure, explain how any last-minute changes, extensions, or exclusions will affect project constraints, create a thorough scope management plan for controlling and avoiding scope creep, and inform stakeholders of the plan on a regular basis, especially when fresh changes are proposed. Project teams working in more agile than predictive project management environments, on the other hand, must be prepared to pivot based on the feedback gathered after each sprint or iteration. 8. Inadequate risk management. The problem. Even the most skilled and experienced project managers cannot anticipate every possible risk to a project. Project risks can span from a project management software glitch that causes a timeline error to an earthquake. Even with the most meticulous project plan, there will inevitably be some unexpected events that will jeopardize the project. Risk management strategies are the way to go. A project manager has to be diligent in establishing a risk management plan that includes the following elements: identifying all potential hazards, classifying those dangers, calculating the probability that those risks may occur, developing strategies for dealing with or responding to risks as they arise, establish a risk register or log to monitor risks. 9. Using the correct project management software. The problem. Today there are enormous project management systems available. Although this isn't necessarily a problem, it doesn't mean that each and every tool can solve all of the problems of a project manager. As previously stated, a project management's role varies depending on the organization, industry, type of project, and even culture of the team all have the impact on the level and complexity of a project management. In many instances, project management choose a project management tool that includes all of the bells and whistles. However, this does not always imply that it's the perfect fit. Several project management systems offer a variety of features and functions, but this can frequently complicate projects rather than aid them. The solution: adopting the best project management tool, software, is not an easy decision, and it should not be. It is critical to consider the options available while also considering what project teams truly require. The best way to address this is to prioritize the features that the project manager and team require to help them oversee budgets, tasks, assignments, schedules, etc. This way, the benefits of a specific tool against your budget, and then decide on the best project management software. Click on the video on the right to understand why and what are the challenges in managing new projects and how to solve them. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. On my page projectmanageriq.com you can get the free slide decks, templates for your project management needs, as well as training based on my 544-page book Project Management for Managers, Program and Project Portfolio Management in Banking, translated into 9 languages and counting. Please see details below in the description, which also states where to buy my book and what's the best program and project management software, PPM.